You know, not really a lively spirit, but an echo of shit that happened.
Oh, we're going to get into it, though.
Oh, my
We're going to get into it. First of all, how does Dunkin' Donuts not have chocolate donuts ready? What the fuck?
Fuck. Oh, my God.
It's like...
I'm mad on your behalf. I don't even know about this, but god damn it.
Hello, and welcome back to RTFB. This is Travis, and today Chris, other Chris, Danielle, and I are going to talk about Kenneth Branagh's latest Hercule Poirot movie, A Haunting in Venice. We're also going to talk about the Poirot book it was based on, Hallowe'en Party, and, fair warning, we're going to spoil a fair deal of both of them. So, if you were planning on seeing the movie this weekend, you have our permission to dip out and come back after your screening. Same thing with the book, if that's your style. Or both, if you were going to do both. I guess since neither of those spoil each other, but I've confused myself. Anyway, once you're ready, let's get back to my conversation with the Chris's and Danielle already in progress.
Like, they don't have any because, like, that's all my kids want, so just cancel the whole order then. Like, I don't want any of it then if you're not going to have that.
Well, you have to cancel it on your end.
And then Dunkin' Donuts is like, oh, well, we have 4. It's like, okay, well, if you have 4, I'll take those 4.
It's a different
and you
story.
can replace the other 2 chocolate that I was going to get with glaze. But, like, my God, if you don't have chocolate, like, that's what my kids want.
That's the only donut to be getting.
Like, why would you
Krispy
run out of
Kreme.
those? Those should be the ones you make the most of.
Yeah.
Whoever's running Dunkin' Donuts, they need to do a better job.
They
Whoever's
do.
up at the top, you need to get rid of them. Bring someone else in that knows what
Surely
they're doing,
somebody
because
from Boston.
This should not be happening.
Yeah.
Just
ever.
not, I will say, Delta CEO Ed Bastian. Because
Today's episode brought to you by Delta Airlines and Dunkin' Donuts.
If only.
Because they made some changes that everyone on Reddit has been fucking blasting. Their
I didn't
Sky
hear about
Miles
this.
is now Sky Dollars, essentially.
Ooh.
They're taking away
shriek
all
bucks.
of the, you're not going to earn status through miles traveled anymore. It's dollars spent.
Oh.
And you only earn a qualifying dollar for, like, every $20 of real money you spend. I don't know. So all
I've
the
never
people...
flown Delta in my whole life.
Oh, I was
There's a fun
exclusive to
fact.
them for the past few years.
Good to know.
Because Delta was comfortable, at least, and ran on time.
Yeah.
And didn't fuck with, like, didn't lose my luggage until this year. Then that started changing a little bit, as the last 2 times I have flown, my flights have been delayed. And when I made it to Texas, because of that big-ass delay, my bag came later. So they're not so reliable for my
remember that.
experience anymore. Yeah, you were there.
They had to come deliver it.
You gotta start putting AirTags
they're still
in your
nice.
luggage too, because like they.
I don't have an iPhone, so I can't get an AirTag. I guess I could get a Tile.
Yeah.
So,
Same
but
goddamn thing.
I mean, Delta knows where my bags are pretty much all the time. They
They
just
know how to
couldn't
get them
get
to
it
you.
there with me because it was so we were so late leaving Winston that I only
Yeah.
had 20 minutes to make it to my next plane in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Which after the bathroom was really like 15 minutes, and I had to go from like across the airport on the plane train.
Oh my god.
Which made I got there. I got to my gate. Like I made it on the plane, but my bag did not make it with me because you need at least like 40 minutes to an hour for your bag to make it.
Right.
So
As long as they
yeah.
delivered it, like that's on them. Like,
Oh,
you
they
gotta
did.
bring that shit to me.
yeah, no, they totally did. They covered all that. So, but
I will
yeah,
not be waiting.
So all the Delta loyalists now, and rightly so, are like, what's the fucking point of being loyal to Delta? Because a lot of them who are talking this stuff are like business travelers
Mm-hmm.
who, while they might, while their company probably covers the shit, like they get to book it with they get to use their
Yeah.
Sky Miles number and crap like that. So they've been earning this
Yeah.
status. And that's what it is, like, because of the credit card bonuses and status matches and crap during COVID and shit. Like, there's way too many people with platinum and diamond medallion status, at least
Yeah.
according to Delta. So they're basically just kicking everybody out, essentially, through spending requirements and only keeping the really special people.
I see.
And,
Capitalism at the best.
Uh-huh.
but it's like, well, what's the incentive of being a Sky Miles loyalist if there is none? So,
You get a
like,
cool
now it's
sticker.
like, No, you get cool bag tags. I've heard that's what you get.
Ooh.
When you hit silver, you get some luggage tags that say your silver medallion.
Do they have a GPS locator in them, so when they get lost?
No.
So there's zero.
That probably comes with your diamond medallion ones. But they also, people are like, we could live with that, but they're also getting rid of lounge access for people.
Oh.
So, like, I had a Delta credit card for a little bit, but now it turns out there wouldn't be any good reason to have it because I had the Platinum Delta Amex, which is like the gold regular Amex, essentially.
Yeah.
And but you could pay a day pass rate to get into the Sky Clubs, which are supposedly really nice. When I had it, it was like $35, and then they jacked it up to $50. So that's kind of
not worth.
It can be. That kind of gets in the territory of, hey, where are you flying and how long are you laid over for?
Right.
You know, when it's $35, sure, every time. Like Atlanta, no biggie. That's like a meal I'm going to pay for anyways. So
Do they have
like the airport
for you in there?
And beer,
okay.
like free alcohol, all that kind of shit.
You know, last time we were at the mall, we saw an offer for a Victoria's Secret credit card, and I was wondering what Victoria's Secret
get free underwear
lounges are like.
Well, I don't know.
They're
So they
basically
nixed
dressing
I
that.
think they let just anybody into those.
No. So they nixed that for the platinum card holders. So then you have to have the Delta Reserve,
Yeah.
which is like $600 a year.
You've thought about this way too much.
Oh, because I wanted airplane status. Because I wanted status, Chris, so I could get into lounges.
Yeah.
I don't want
That's
to
what
wait.
he's interested in.
I don't want to wait around with all the other plebs.
With the riffraff.
Have you been to Atlanta? You know how crowded that shit is? Like, come on. And there's like 20 Sky Clubs in every terminal in Atlanta. But only Sky Clubs. Yeah, so they got rid of that. They took, the reserve was unlimited Sky Clubs to, now they get like 10 per year.
Oh.
Which I guess for a leisure traveler would be fine.
Yeah.
But the people who have the reserve are not leisure travelers, so they need
Right.
more than 10. And then you used to be able to get in with the regular American Express Platinum card if you were flying on Delta, like unlimited time. So that was helpful.
Right.
That was a really good card if you wanted lounge access. Also expensive, but if you can use the credits, then it evens out. But they limited them to 6 visits a year. So people are like, well, what's the fucking point? I'm like, well,
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
None now, I guess. So everyone's like, fine, we'll just fucking fly on like whatever's the quickest to get us there or the cheapest. And everyone's like, actually, that's the way it should go because the airlines have all kind of fucked over their miles rewards programs in the last few years. So there's really no point anymore.
Right.
So it's like, just go with whoever you want to go with. We'll get you there the quickest.
Right.
I'm like, all right, that's probably how it should have been.
Well, the creepy
You know.
thing was when all the Delta CEOs started showing up dead with slashes on their back.
Whoa. Yes, exactly.
All the Sky Miles
Exactly.
of elitists hate Delta CEOs now.
Yep. We'll have to find Poirot's grandson to come solve this one. So
Yes, please.
yeah.
Oh, and also we should have said at the beginning, Shana Tova.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Shofar
Shana Tova.
season.
Yes. It's
Did
now
you blow a
57.84.
shofar recently?
They did in synagogue yesterday.
Yeah.
I can't do it very well, so I don't do it yet, but maybe I could have had I gone to the practice session last Sunday based on all the people who were there yesterday. I'm like, oh, I probably could have done that except the super long one at the end.
Yeah.
Because
You
you
have to like
a lot of lung
buzz your
capacity
lips
for
like
it.
a trumpet or...
That sounds like a super
You're
spreader event to me.
You're supposed to,
Yeah.
but I don't really know how to do that.
Yeah.
So I
I've
figured out
lost
how to do it using like the
Skill.
with the small. I have a small kudu horn one,
Uh-huh.
but you're supposed to be able to do that just like straight out like a trumpet.
Right.
But apparently, I took it last year and I didn't end up doing it. But Rabbi looked at it and he was like, "Yeah, it looks like the hole's a little small, a little tight." It's like you should talk to Leah, or like one of Michal, his younger daughter,
Yeah.
about it. I didn't do that, but I figured out how to make it work by using like the side of my mouth. But
Yeah.
like I could do most of them, I think, if I practiced, but not the long Gedola.
Kudu horn
one
would
at
be
the
pretty
end.
small, right?
No, they're about full-size ones are super
Oh.
long.
Maybe I'm thinking
Mine
of a
is just-
dick.
A smaller one. So
I just
yeah.
like saying dick.
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 A
They're
dick
pretty
shofar.
cool, the kudu horn ones, because of their length and they have the nice curl.
Yeah.
Because traditionally, like in the Middle East and Europe, they used ram's horn ones.
Right.
And they still do. You can still get ram's horn shofars. But the Jews in Yemen and that part of the world, like, oh, we don't really have rams. We have these kudus. Like,
Uh-huh.
we have some sheep. We don't want to, like, kill them off unnecessarily for things. So
Yeah, they're
we
so
have these.
useful.
Yeah, like we have these kudu things running around that we hunt, so can we use those horns? And the rabbis were like, sure.
Yeah.
They'll work. So, let's introduce the kudu. They're pretty neat. That's pretty much all everybody uses now because they look cool.
I had a TikTok on my For You page of some guy who, it's like when my corgi is babysat by my Jewish grandfather. And he was helping them blow the shofar.
Nice.
It was very cute.
The only problem I have is the fucking MAGA people have taken our shofars and used them. They have them and they use them at their stupid rallies.
That's they're not Christian, something I've heard of.
Because they're Christian nationalists.
Uh-huh.
So they like to take shit from us. Yeah. And use it from our culture and our practices. Uh-huh. Because they think they talk to God the most or something. I don't know.
No, they're just a fake religious.
And Trump is sent by God. Yeah. And these are supposed to be the trumpets used at their end of days belief. Oh. So they're like, we're going to use these.
Trump isn't going anywhere after he dies.
No.
He's not going
He's going to a golf course.
A very hot one where he never wins.
Yeah.
No, I mean right next to his ex-wife.
According to those Christian people.
So his kids don't have to pay taxes on his burial or whatever.
Right.
Well.
Right. But yeah, that's been weird, like, to see. Like, there's pictures from January 6th of people with those. I'm like, that's not yours. You shouldn't be doing that.
Well, they don't care.
They don't. They're like, we like Jewish people. We like Israel.
On the wall and stuff. Like,
yeah. They're like, we like Israel. Some of us bought our shofars there, so it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not. Not for what you're doing. Well, sorry.
To make a terrible segue, this is a problem we probably face a lot given the format of this show. But you know how you get like a book and the cover has the freaking thing that's like, oh, now it's a PBS mystery. Ugh. Ruined it.
Was it? I wonder what that one's like.
Ruined
this movie.
Oh, man. So, it's another Agatha Christie book.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like nothing at all to do with the movie so much. I mean,
That's
a little.
What I heard.
It's sort of inspired I heard it
was a very much an adaptation.
Yeah. Anyway. Did anybody else get a chance to read the book? I know it was kind of a weird schedule.
I did not.
I almost did, and then I was too tired.
There you go.
I really thought about it, though.
Okay.
Cool.
I was like, oh, man.
Well.
Right.
And then I fell asleep.
The thing about this one is, like, it was super boring, this book.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're not selling it.
I'm sorry. But I was hoping someone else would have read it because I'm like, help me remember what even happened in this book.
There we go. That's what we need to know.
Okay, so first of all, was Poirot in it?
And was he in Venice?
Poirot was in it. Okay.
And
was he in Venice?
Let's go over what I remember of this book, I guess, first.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the book is called Hallowe'en Party instead of A Haunting in Vegas. It was one of the last Poirot books.
Okay.
No, A Haunting in Vegas. That'd been a different movie.
Ooh.
That would have, yeah. There is a Venice in Vegas.
Oh my God.
So there we go.
The Haunting in Vegas, Venice.
At the Venetian.
Right.
The canals go like half a football field.
Yes, but there's still canals.
That's true. You could still drown in them if you tried.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's one of the last Poirot books that she wrote. It was written in 1969, so that's like 32 years after Death on the Nile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems kind of take place around then. They never really date check anything, but
yeah.
Just some of the notes that she has in there about how the men are dressing, like very Austin Powers-y.
Yeah.
Some of the vocab she uses, like describes people as wanting to look sexy, which I don't remember them using something like that back in the 30s.
No.
But decidedly not set in Venice. Like, this is in some random town in the English countryside at like a boarding school. It's set around a boarding school.
Okay.
But one of the things I read was that they suspect Agatha Christie was maybe suffering from dementia when she wrote this, because there's like plot lines that sort of start and she forgets to go back to, and there's kind of a lot of retreading of the same kind of ideas. Like, she never really, I don't know, the impression I got was she hadn't quite figured out how to make it a show not tell situation. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of Poirot just kind of thinking about it, being like, man, kids and murder's bad and stuff, but...
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so it does still have Ariadne as like a analog for her, like a murder mystery writer. Mm-hmm. She's staying with like a PTA leader lady who is Rowena Drake. Okay. They're hosting a Halloween party for the kids in the school. Mm-hmm. And Poirot's not there for it, but after the party's breaking up, they find one of the girls, Joyce, is like drowned in the apple bobbing tub.
Oh, fuck.
After having earlier in the day told everyone, like, well, I saw murder once. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, you didn't. Shut up. She's like, yeah, I totally did, but I didn't know it was a murder at the time. So the whole thing is they suspect somebody heard that she had seen a murder, and they're like, uh-oh, better shut her up.
Right.
And then there's just a lot of Poirot walking around town and talking to people and then being like, man, that Joyce girl lies all the time. He's like, okay, but also, what about this one girl that went missing in the past? Like, oh, well, her too. And then, what about this other murder? Like, yeah, that. Like, constantly rediscovering these past women who have been killed or gone missing. It's weird. And to, like, kind of spoil the rest of it, like, the principal crime is, like, there's an amendment to a will of a local lady who was very rich, where she was going to leave all of her money to her au pair, which the kids didn't know what that word was. So they called her the opera lady instead of the au pair lady. Oh. And the au pair was named Olga, and she was going to inherit all this money, but the gardener for that lady was having an affair with Rowena Drake. They wanted to inherit the money so they could make a really fancy garden. Mm-hmm. So they made a fake amendment to the will that said the same thing as the real amendment to the will, but did it so shittily they knew lawyers would be like, this is fake and we can't use it. And filed that instead, so they didn't get the money, and then they killed Olga and threw her in a well.
Oh. Oops.
And one of the local kids had actually seen that happen and told her friend Joyce, and Joyce wanted to be edgy and cool, so she told her friends it was her who saw it. And Rowena Drake heard her say that, and so she drowned her in the thing.
Whoops.
Then Joyce's brother Leopold either saw it happen, I don't remember, or like figured it out on his own and was going to blackmail her. So she's like, blackmail me, I kill you also. Like, fucking kid. You can't blackmail me, I'm bigger than you. And, yeah. So then the neighbor kid, they figure out it was her who actually found it, or saw the murder. And they're going to go sacrifice her, like they convince her they need to sacrifice her like Olga to make the garden pretty or something. But there's some last minute heroics, which is unusual for these kind of murder mysteries to me, at least, where they swoop in and save the day. Yeah. Stop someone from being actively murdered instead of solving someone who's already dead. But
right.
I don't know. It wasn't very long, but it was very confusing and like...
Not really. It doesn't really sound like a Poirot novel.
No, well, a lot of his investigation is just talking to people, which is not unlike his other investigations, but kind of missed that driving force of like we actively have to discover this instead of like, oh, well, it's weird that this happened and we'll just think back through past crimes and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was weird.
Sounds like it.
But, like, it did put me in mind of something like It, where they have all of these, disappearances and murders in town, and everyone's kind of just like, we just don't talk about that.
Right.
Like, that's too hard to think about. So,
yeah.
Interesting.
There did seem to be, like, nods to the book in this movie. Like, some of the character names were used, of course, but the principal plot was, like, completely different. Although they did come back and kind of do an homage to the plot with that last guy who was talking to him at the end.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's like, I need help. He's like, actually, it was a fake codicil to your will or whatever, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, that was the whole thing.
Okay. That makes sense.
Anyway, so, although I think it was a little boring, like, it would be interesting to go back and read it just because it is so different and seeing, like, a completely different story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Since they changed it up so much for the movie, like, I didn't really know, like, are they going to keep the same killer? Is it going to be Tina Fey instead? Like, who's going to be the blame here? But, anyway. What did you guys think of A Haunting in Venice? Danielle.
I quite enjoyed it.
I thought it was going to be, like, more scary, and I was like, oh, I don't really like scary movies, but it really wasn't very scary, so it was good. Although, I will say it was not long, but it kind of felt long.
It was much more horror-inflected than the other ones have been.
Yeah. That was supposed to be a theme.
Yeah.
I think there were a lot of people at my movie theater who thought it was going to be a scary movie.
I feel like a lot of people did, because the way that they marketed it, they showed all, like, the scary type stuff. I was like, this is going to be scary. Like, I don't know if I can do this one. But no, it wasn't scary.
Not at all.
No. Well,
Just
I
a great
didn't even
story
realize,
in there.
Well, the changed title didn't help, but I didn't even realize it was supposed to be a Poirot novel until later on. Like, even the trailer, the first one I saw, I'm like, oh, this is weird.
Oh, I saw the first one I saw had Poirot in it, so
be like a scary medium lady in this. Oh, and then Kenneth Branagh. Okay,
right.
There he is.
There he is.
Yep.
Mustache.
Yep.
Mustaches and Dutch angles. The movie.
Yep.
Yep.
And I feel like they filmed it on maybe like a tripod or something, and they kept moving it around because like, it was shaky.
Sometimes, yeah.
It was a shaky.
Well, there were
movie.
a couple of scenes where they had the thing where it was like attached to the front of him, so you could see kind of him kind of desperately running around.
Right.
A little bit shaky that way, but
well, it turns out being poisoned the whole time.
Yeah,
I didn't guess the source for that, but I did guess that the honey was not honey after. Like, when it was mentioned, this doesn't taste. I'm like, because I was thinking, what is Poirot had that could have been a vector for something? Because I'm like, he either got hit on the head really bad, or he's hallucinating because he's been drugged somehow.
Yeah.
I'm
and
like,
also, why
probably
the fuck was
honey.
it in the linen closet?
Because that's where it got hidden by the
Who
housekeeper.
keeps honey in the linen closet?
Well, they had
Nobody.
to stash it there the day that what's her name killed herself.
Yeah, and the police.
Oh shit! Get rid of the evidence. Put it in the closet.
And who digs through linen closets looking for stuff?
Didn't
The
they think maybe they should
housekeeper.
throw that shit out? Like, why would we save it?
There's a canal right there,
The only one
guys.
who knew, Danielle, because the only one who knew was the mom, and she wasn't going to implicate herself by being like, this is not just normal honey.
Yeah.
So I thought I figured that part out, but I didn't know where they came from and what they were used for until Poirot went into it at the end. But I liked it. I thought the setting was really fun, and it felt very intimate, even though it's like the same amount of like main suspects you usually have. It like felt really, like I said, more intimate to me. I think it's because we're just in a house doing stuff there. Like it wasn't as fun adventure-y to me as like Death on the Nile was, but it's hard to kind of beat that location and going to the different places and doing that while we're solving a murder. But I liked it being in Venice. I liked it being like over one night, and it just felt like really fun and old and detective-y. So, and the theme was great. The whole Halloween theme and the tale of the children's curse and all that just really made it a lot of fun, I thought. So, but I'm sure there's a lot of confused people who left that movie theater being like, this wasn't scary at all. Who's this funny guy with the mustache?
That's pretty normal for marketing.
Yeah.
Especially around this time of year.
Yes.
Right. Well, it did seem like a kind of Adam Sandler-esque move to be like, well, we'll set this in Venice and we'll hang out in Venice for a couple of months and shoot this movie. But I wasn't mad at him. It looked really cool.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I like Venice.
I liked all of the shots of the canals and stuff.
I was
so I thought was creepy and cool.
Yeah. And they have a lot of those in Venice that are big and neat looking from like the 15th through 18th century, but nobody can afford to keep them up really. Especially not then. Because most of the families with money didn't have money anymore right after World War II. But it was weird to me because I'm like, I've been to Venice, but it was when I was 13 in 1996, and I'm like, oh, this movie is set in 1947, so I went there like 49 years later. And I'm like,
wow.
Man, times have changed because that's not the 40s is not that close anymore in time. But it was in the 90s, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it got really neat, especially with the storm, making the canals like too choppy and rough and banging on things, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a cool visual, although I did think to myself, like, well, we can't get a gondola out until morning or whatever. Like, could you walk, though? Like,
no, not
like, there's
necessarily.
streets and stuff, you can walk. Like,
but there's also, like, little island groupings, and depending on where the palazzo is, you may not be able to walk to it directly. You could walk to it after you got to the little island place it's on, but if you can't get the gondolas out, you can't get to it. So it could be there, because not all of them are linked, especially not... I think they might all be now, but most of the bridges that they still had in the 40s were the ones from the 1500s and stuff, for the most part, so they may not all be linked, because you had gondolas going all the time, you know, so it didn't really matter for people.
Yeah. Well, I liked that they changed the time period to, like, the end of World War II instead of, like, the late 60s.
Yeah.
Let them kind of dive into stuff about, you know, PTSD and the Holocaust. Like, the doctor being, like, shaken up from having liberated that concentration camp.
That would fuck up a person,
Wait, so I couldn't understand all of what he was saying. Did he kill a bunch of people with milk? What happened?
Yes.
Accidentally.
Because the people were so starved that you couldn't give them anything. And the first soldiers and people who showed up they gave them food. And people died from that.
Yeah.
They died.
Like, refeeding is a thing that can happen when you've been severely malnourished.
And they were for a long time.
And they just die.
Yeah, it's a shock to their system.
Right.
And they had to burn down a camp or something? Is that what he said because of it? They got, like...
Well, the ones that got typhus,
Yeah.
It was really the only way to stop it from
was
spreading.
To sterilize the building, essentially.
Yeah.
So,
like, murder all the people?
Well, no, they weren't in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I thought
it's
that was
probably after the typhus
parallel.
Blew through and killed who was going to kill.
Right.
So then they would have done that with all the bed linens and crap like that in there, too.
Right.
And it was just a horrible place, so... You know.
Don't need to preserve it.
Only a
Not
few.
really. Yeah.
Only a few camps.
But I thought that story was a cool parallel with Olga, like, taking care of, what was her name, Alicia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the honey tea or whatever. Both unintentionally doing a lot of harm just by giving them something they thought they needed. But,
right.
I thought it was smart to maybe not have every murder be a kid in the movie, too. Like, that was a good change.
Thankfully. Yeah.
Have the kids die off screen if you have to, although I don't know if it's better to be like, and then we killed them by locking them in the basement and letting the plague take them.
Yeah.
I didn't have to see it, though, so.
Oh, child murder.
Yeah. We got to see
what are you going to do?
Their little dollies.
What do you want them to do?
Yeah.
It's called quarantine,
Can't
guys.
just give them like a Robitussin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like quarantine for life.
For the rest of your life, you're quarantined in the
40
basement.
days.
Yeah.
Hence the quarto part. The Italians developed that. We got that from them.
Oh.
And it was for 40 days, and if you survived, if you were still alive at the end of 40 days, you obviously weren't sick anymore. But you also had to have someone bring you food and shit, and if you had no one to do that, you would probably die.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. I never knew
Either
that.
way, they stopped the disease transmission there.
One way or the other, this disease will not spread.
From that location, yeah.
Yeah.
We clearly have learned nothing with our diseases. Like, we could be, look at what we could be doing, what we could be accomplishing.
If we locked everyone in the basement to die?
I mean, we did used to do that. There was that island in New York that was the quarantine island for...
Manhattan?
Yeah, for a bunch of diseases until, like, the 60s.
Oh.
So, I mean, they had people staff there, like, they just lived there. And then they'd send people there who had, like, tuberculosis and some other crap.
Yeah.
And if they survived and made it, then they got to go home. And if not, well, then they didn't spread it to anybody else.
Survival of the fittest, that's how they do it.
I guess so. Herd immunity.
We've gotten so soft.
No, we did the right thing.
We need to start working on our immune systems better.
We don't like to live with plagues.
Spraying people
with diseases. What I felt with COVID. I'm like, oh, plagues are back. Great. We had a nice 100 years. We didn't have to worry about it.
We had a nice run.
Yeah. Now we got to deal with the plague again.
Yeah, but kind of going back to what we were talking about at the top, like, that's always kind of the idea I've had with, like, literary hauntings, at least, is, like, that's a way for people to process guilt and grief.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I did something wrong, and now I'm going to torture myself by thinking, like, my kid is haunting the place, or all these kids we just left to die are going to come back and get our revenge.
Right.
But
as they should.
As well, justified,
So,
right?
Yes. No one would blame them. I don't blame them.
Justice for the innocent.
Yeah, although it was weird for them to be like, we fucking hate doctors. Doctors did this to us.
Because the doctors and the nurses ran the place, and they just locked them up and left.
Yep. All doctors.
You know.
Clearly, it's the children's curse, because they're kids, and they can't differentiate between the specific ones who were there and all of them.
Right.
Because they're angry ghosts, too.
Yeah. Hashtag not all doctors.
Right. But just don't go to that palazzo just to be safe.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to that palazzo in the daytime. It was already
I would. It looked pretty cool.
It was pretty creepy.
It's just
looking.
old and decrepit. It just needs some work.
A lot of work.
But
apparently.
I kept thinking, you know what? Maybe I have to look and see if Venice has any old palazzos that need some work.
Yeah.
I would totally get
Let's
one.
go.
And then have a really bitchin' like mansion
Yeah.
on the canals. I just have to fix it up, help, get some money, fix it up.
Yeah. And you could invite the neighborhood orphans over to terrorize them.
Until global warming puts it all underwater.
Yes. Well, hey, no, they've got their solution to that, Chris. So they've got their things that fill up in the lagoon that block off the water.
Yeah.
When there's storm surges.
Solved forever.
Forever.
Or for like maybe 50 years, and they have to do it again.
Solved forever.
So. Okay. Or they could do what they've always used to do, and you stop up the stuff for a bit, and you drain the lagoon in Venice, and you clean up the canals and make sure your shit's not sinking, and you just kind of like recaulk crap and make it okay for like 20 years, and you do it again. But then they haven't done that for like 100 years now, apparently, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. They used to do that regularly. They told us when we were in Venice.
Yeah.
Venice is a neat place, actually, because of how they built it.
Yeah.
And then they used, like, impermeable stone for the stuff that's supposed to be underwater, which not all of it is now because of sea level rise.
Yeah.
But that's been that way for a while. Like, so you go to a lot of the older places, and they have, like, what was a landing on the water is now, like, underwater.
Right.
And what was a dry area is now their water entrance.
Right.
So...
Well, what are you going to do?
But then the slightly newer ones were like the one we saw where they have the boat parking.
Right.
Your boat come in and stuff, and you just get off there and go to the house from there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
But that one also had a door on the water, too, depending, I guess, on how people were arriving and deliveries and shit like that.
It'd be pretty sweet to have your morning pastries delivered by boat.
It would be.
Boat dock.
Yeah, it would be.
So yeah, I fully support you going and fixing up a palazzo somewhere.
Yeah, let's all go. Let's all go.
Okay.
All right.
We'll do that.
It looks big enough for all of us.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is.
Yeah.
Those palazzos are definitely big enough for all of us.
Yeah.
So we just have
there
that
you go.
huge, like, common
can I
room
just
area
get
to hang out.
my citizenship and then it's cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
should do
You
it.
can.
You
You're
can.
gonna do it.
You actually
My
should.
citizenship.
Because you get it, and then your boys get it. And Travis can get the I'm a spouse residency.
Oh, yes.
So
Could do it.
Gotta
It
go
could
there.
be Palazzo della Daniele, or
Really
however you say that in
lots of
Italian.
You're gonna learn how to cook pasta for real.
And there's regional,
To make
there's
it
some really great
with the pile
regional
of
specialties
Yeah.
The
in the
egg meal.
Veneto there. Yeah, and there's some really great specialties in the Veneto region there between Venice and then it's like there's some city not too far away on the land that's pretty cool too that they kind of vied for power and then Venice controlled them for a long
We
time.
can open
There's
an
a lot
Olive
of really
Garden.
cool regional stuff there. There you go.
Tourists will flock.
Yes.
Learn how to make the gnocchi in the microwave or whatever.
Oh, yes.
That would be amazing.
I should also note that in a actual sense, hauntings are usually carbon dioxide leaks. So keep in mind if you buy an old place and fixing up and start seeing things, probably carbon dioxide.
I will make sure there's plenty of ventilation.
Right.
Yeah, just open the window, it's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah. I thought Michelle Yeoh was awesome in this movie.
She was the best.
Yeah.
She's
she was
awesome
great.
in everything.
She murdered it.
Mhm.
It was really good.
And she just looks
You
so... She does not age.
Nope.
She looks the same every time. She's got no wrinkles on her face. She doesn't even need makeup.
She is a treasure.
She is.
She is.
Yeah.
I wish that she had been in it more because she was the most likable.
Yeah.
And I have to remind people to, go back and watch, what was it, Police Story 2?
Mm-hmm.
Where she jumps a fucking motorcycle onto a moving train.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
She's
pretty
She's
hardcore.
just fucking awesome.
She's badass.
Yeah.
She can do anything.
Yep.
Anything.
Any.
But I guess she was
It
more
is
like
a shame she wasn't in it longer.
the one you're supposed to be like, oh, something's up with her. Oh, she's dead? Oh, fuck.
Yeah. I was hoping she was going to at least get another seance and then something might happen.
Yeah.
But nope.
I like that
Not that
seance scene a lot, especially when Poirot was like, yeah, shut up.
Yeah, get
Come
this
out
guy
of
out
the-
of Get this guy out of the fire.
He's like, come out of the chimney. Boop, boop. And the guy falls out. It's like,
Nicholas
see, it's a fake.
was in the chimney.
Yes.
And then how is she spinning? Oh, other tricks. I don't know yet, but we'll figure them out.
Just like a spinny chair. I don't know.
Yeah.
Spinny chair.
Yeah. Something.
Just it looked like it was on a turntable somewhere we didn't see.
Yeah.
And a very thin wire that went to it so you wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
That got pulled, so it was fine.
Yeah.
Listen,
Just
that
like the
Rowena
door.
lady brought this shit on herself. She knew she was guilty. She should have just let it go.
Yeah.
She did.
Why was
honestly.
she trying to have her speak to her again? Wasn't
Yeah.
she so
Find out
well?
What was the thing?
To find
there?
out
Like,
who was blackmailing her, for sure.
did she just not expect
The kid? No.
someone to tell her that it was murder instead of just dying? Like, was she trying
She
to
did,
keep
but
up
she
with
was
the
going to
act,
play
like-
it off. She was going to play it off that it was the ex-fiancé. That was the plan.
Oh.
Because
That's right, 'cause
they don't
they
like
had
each
the-
other.
The M
and he's
on the
physical.
typewriter.
Yeah. They don't like each other, and he's kind of physical sometimes, and she could play it off that he snuck in to try to get her back, and she said no,
Yeah.
and he killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap.
For like half of his screen time, I thought Maxime was Rowena's ex-husband. I didn't catch who the hell he was.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Oh, okay.
No, he was the
with
fiancé.
the daughter. Yeah.
Maxine.
Yeah.
Maxime.
And he did truly love her. Yes, he was out to make money from his marriage, but no, he loved her enough. He was going to come back for her, but he couldn't. Mom wouldn't let him.
Mom wouldn't stand for that. No, sir.
No.
Can't do it.
What?
She
AB?
couldn't live without her daughter.
She was totally a helicopter parent. She needed to get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. Well, think about it. She needed her daughter to justify everything in her life.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Munchausen syndrome,
So-
right?
I'm like, or you could have been nicer to the fiancé and y'all could live in that palazzo together.
Yeah. So there's another theme in this movie is parents being dependent on their kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the creepy
Yeah.
kid. I really wanted it to be him. 'Cause
Well, it
he
kinda
so
was.
creepy.
It kind of was.
He at least pushed
But
things
he was also
along.
kind of like, I was just testing a theory and it turned out to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to lead to like my dad getting killed and all this other shit.
Yeah,
Right.
he didn't seem all that sad for a kid that just lost his dad, though. Like, well, I guess go.
He
look
was
at the house
sad when it
that's
happened.
Fine.
Yeah, well, and shock is a real
He
thing.
was sad.
Uh,
Yeah.
Just
He was pretty sad right after it happened, but he's been the adult for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell, so like he's trying to keep himself together.
He was riding off into the sunset, and I was like, oh, so Leopold, you're just going to be fucking creepy the rest of your life, huh? He's like, just so
No.
you know, ghosts will come back. My dad will be here again. Like,
See,
didn't we
soon
just
as-
disprove all this? Like,
But that's kid thinking though. That's actual like evidence of kid thinking in the situation from him.
yeah.
Like, oh no, he'll be back. Like that's the way this works here.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he is probably gonna ride off and be like finally be a kid again for a little bit.
Yeah.
As tragic as his life has been, like he doesn't have to worry about like other shit right now. It's been resolved. Negatively, but it's been resolved.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of riding off into the sunset, I'm sure we annoyed our seatmates when they're like, we're going to escape to St. Louis, Missouri. We're like,
Ah!
I know that place.
And I said,
I
don't
tried
do
not
it.
to
Don't
make a
do
big
it.
deal.
Not
I
worth
tried
it.
not to make a big deal, but then when they're like, "We're gonna go live on this street," and I'm like, "There is no such street in St. Louis."
They're going to be so disappointed.
But was it?
Yeah,
Was it in that play though? You mean?
yeah, I
St.
think
Louis,
so.
St.
So it's in the
Louis,
movie.
See, maybe
Which
the
I had
second
never
half of
watched.
the movie was like, oh, there isn't a street named that. And they
I
never
never
would have
watched
known.
all that movie like together.
Yeah,
But I need to.
yeah,
I mean, it's a good movie,
I don't
but
think
it's
I've
kind of
seen it
sad
either.
because they leave. From what I understand, they have to move.
yeah.
That's where you get that Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas Song or something from, I think.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
It's one of those famous Christmas songs comes from that movie.
Yeah.
So, it's Judy Garland at her height, so you can't really go wrong with it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny. I wanted to get up and be like, I'm from St. Louis! But I didn't, so.
That would have been awesome. It was like, shut up!
They were like, fine. Well, you know what? They probably would have welcomed change because all these, like, fucking 20-year-olds, like, whispering throughout the whole damn movie.
Oh.
So, including right next to me.
Oh, that was that guy?
I kind of got pissed. Like, I picked my seat to not be next to people.
Yeah.
But there was just 2 left next to me, and I was hoping no one would pick them. But nope, some little couple did.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't stand it when people want to sit next to us.
Yeah, we're always
I
on the
like
end.
it. I'm like, I don't fucking know you. Why did you...
like, go away. If there are other seats.
Why did you pick a seat where you could clearly see someone had chosen one right next to you?
Right.
Like, why did you do that?
Purpose.
And then I had to hear about how she got some fucking drink for free after she had to come back and get her boyfriend's, like, card or PIN number or something to try to get cash out.
Yeah.
And she had to go wait. And somehow she got this drink for free. Like, they just gave it to her, but she didn't get charged for it and do all this other stuff. So here's, like, $8 back.
Wow, you had, like, a whole side story.
They were right next to me.
And now
like,
we know
I'm
about
like, come on.
Yeah.
I was about to put like, can you be quiet? Like,
she was not interested in the movie, is what that tells me.
No, I'm sure she expected it to be scary, and it wasn't.
Yeah, she needs to go see The Exorcist 3 or whatever.
Like, we got a couple things
month.
when Poirot was like at the height of his hallucinating. There was some ghosts around, but that was it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah. So this is a complete diversion, but do you guys have Maria Menounos at your theater before the thing starts?
Yes.
She gives us our movie.
I always get there too late.
Yeah.
I usually do, but sometimes I catch the
like
tail
the
end of her.
very end of it.
Yeah, same here.
There's another person who's never aged.
Yeah, Maria Menounos looks great.
If we go to the other theater, then we just get the fucking Marcus guy.
Marcus. Oh yeah, I don't know who that is.
I sort of miss the
Marcus.
autistic cat.
I've never been to a theater, the Marcus Theater, as just a Marcus. I did go to a couple times when it was Marcus Warenberg, when they're still making a Warenberg, but I haven't been to any of those because they're more expensive.
Right.
They got pricey, and so I just stuck to AMC.
Yep.
Oh,
really?
you think AMC
They still do $5 Tuesdays here.
Oh, do they? Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think I've been to Missouri lately. We saw like the Lyle crocodile there with Mom, and I think it was a
Nice.
Marcus one, right? In Mid Rivers Mall, that's Marcus.
I think so.
Chris?
Yeah.
I think
Possibly.
it is.
I think that's what I saw when I was
It's
there.
really expensive.
Yeah.
And AMC, I think, is also really expensive. I think our
They're all
Cinemarks
expensive.
are the cheapest out of all of them.
Yeah.
Mine, the
Yeah.
Grand
For sure.
is more local, so it's cheaper. But like my ticket last night for regular was like $14.
Yeah.
So, because they had it in regular seating or in IMAX, and I'm like, I'm not going to pay.
Yeah, we're like,
Same
we
shit
don't need
But maybe I should have, because the sound in my theater was kind of shitty.
Oh.
So, like, some of the speakers were broken or something. So it sounded like it was coming through a tin can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah. So their prices are usually around that for new movies at night. Their daytime prices, like, their matinee is like $8.
Yeah.
That's not bad. So, these days, unfortunately.
Well,
The
I've got Movie
$5
Club
would be
too,
better.
So we get like 25% off concessions, and like
Oh,
the
nice.
tickets are all like
it's only like
add-on
$70
price.
for food instead of $100. Like,
Jesus.
jeez.
But like when we went and
Yeah.
bought all the stuff at the Marcus Theater, I was like, I can't believe that we just paid this much for popcorn and
And it
drinks.
wasn't
But in
good.
our theater, it's like half the price.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Well, and that's how they make their money.
Anyway.
Maria Menounos is another person who's never aged, but I was going to ask, like, do you think that's her laugh? Does she really laugh like that?
Mm.
Or is that just
It's
like
a carefully cultivated
you
laugh.
will remember me more if I laugh like a fucking idiot?
It's probably her showbiz laugh.
Probably her fake
So
business
make her
laugh.
memorable.
Yeah. When I have to like
she
talk
hates
to
to do it
celebrities.
just as much as we hate to listen to
Mhm.
it, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably so.
There's a class or something, right, where they teach you to laugh. It's kind of like when you develop a signature or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of being famous.
Yeah.
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 You learn your laugh, you learn your signature.
Yeah. It's like your clown's face paint. Like it's unique to you. Was anyone else expecting the parrot to have been the one that was like making all the kid voices in the
Yes,
background?
I actually did. I expected them to figure out at some point that the parrot was singing.
Yeah.
Not even all the noise, but like the singing the songs and stuff like that was a song that What's-Her-Face sang, so it was going to be the parrot, but it never was.
Yeah.
But nobody else heard it.
The little boy.
Well, yeah, then that happened. Well, yeah, he heard it, so I thought maybe the people were just like ignoring it or not hearing it well enough.
Yeah.
But then that didn't turn out to be the case, so.
Yeah. Or is that certain frequency that only kids can hear?
Could be.
Poirot
Or
just
it would
has
have
really
been
good
like
hearing.
Poirot, like they were hearing a kid talk or hearing her voice, but then it would have been the parrot, but that never happens.
No, never did.
And what happened to the parrot? Like,
oh, they went with
left in the palazzo?
They went with Leopold. It was on the the gondola.
Was it on the thing? Okay.
Yeah,
good.
the cage
Good.
was there at least. So either
I
he took
missed
the
that.
parrot or he took the cage.
Yeah, he's like,
I took the parrot.
Fuck you, parrot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sell this.
You're just gonna live in this palazzo.
I'm gonna go pawn this out.
I'll leave a window open so you can fly out and get food.
Yep. Do we think that the using the hallucinogens to like figure out the crime was that like a nod to Sherlock Holmes? Because usually Poirot's like very like, I'm just going to use all my brain power to figure this out. I'm going to make my list.
He couldn't for a while.
Step through it, but with the hallucinogenic honey or whatever, his brain process stuff he hadn't figured out consciously yet.
Yeah,
Kind of like Holmes would do.
Right. He even talks about that. I was getting signals.
Yeah.
From my brain before my rational part could process them.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
It does.
Absolutely. And I saw some discussion online, people being like, well, was there really a ghost, though? Because I think there was a ghost. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was definitively not a ghost.
No, because other people couldn't see shit, so it's just Poirot tripping balls.
Right.
Like,
no, she pulled
that's
her
what
mother
that
down
was.
in the water.
But
Sorry
did she,
was
though?
there.
No, she didn't.
Come with me.
Was anybody
Just
seeing
like her
that,
mother
or-
wouldn't.
We were
Just like her mother wouldn't sink into oblivion. Those canals aren't that deep. They're deep enough, but they're not so deep.
Well, they're
that you
deeper
disappear.
now than they were in the 40s.
Only by a little bit.
We just talked about this.
Like, you could go down there. Like, a diver could go down there and get her. I guess they did, because there were 3 bodies at the end, so.
Yeah, also, like, was that palazzo tall enough for her to just die when she fell off of there?
No, but I think the implication, remember we saw the scene where the storm made some of those, like, posts sink?
Yeah.
Come off and say, I think the implication is she hit her head on that. When she fell.
I guess so.
And
She
then
did kind of
sank
fall
into
near all those
oblivion.
posts.
That's all right. She had it coming.
Even though she didn't, but they recovered her. But I'm thinking that's kind of what the point of that was.
She was covered in a sheet.
As well as
so she
having the
did.
one, bang into the window thing. But I think that was supposed to be like she kind of hit some of those.
I guess.
So
Could
because
be.
that's not really how that. It's 3 stories. Like you're probably not going to die if you fall out of the window, essentially off the balcony or the roof.
I guess if you hit wrong, you could get like knocked out or something.
Yeah,
And then drown.
Yeah.
Do they have a current? I guess they have a bit of a current.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could
It's
it pull her
attached to
under?
a lagoon that's attached that goes out into the ocean, so they get currents.
Some of those
They have tides.
They get tides, pretty strong tides.
Some of those dolphins I've seen in there, like come got her.
Like I don't think they go in the canals, but they're in the lagoon.
Well, they did during COVID
Did they?
when everything was
People
clean
talk
again.
about that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When there weren't people around.
I will say the Venetians liked that. Like the people who live there,
Uh-huh.
the few who are left, because it's mostly like Airbnbs now, apparently. But yeah, the lagoons were like the clearest they'd been in like 100 years.
Were there like
Amazing.
dolphins in them too? Because they were so clear.
Yeah, I think so. Like, yeah, they were just saying that. Like, they normally wouldn't have been because they don't want to deal with the gondolas, but
Right.
you
They're
know,
like,
they
"This
weren't
is
even
great."
doing that. Yeah,
They went on a
probably.
vacation. Those little dolphins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
So I did want to kind of go through like the nods to the book, at least the ones that I caught. And I'm sure there's more that I'm like, I just completely missed them because it does seem like they either just took the idea of there being a Halloween party
Mm-hmm.
and then did whatever, or they maybe mixed some other books in there that I've never read before because there's, again, like a billion of them.
Right.
Yeah.
But Ariadne was more or less the same. Like, she was the author. Although she wasn't involved with anything as far as plotting in the book.
Yeah.
She was just happened to be there and she knew Poirot.
She's just hanging out.
Yeah. Although I thought
Kind of
that
like
was
that better.
an interesting twist to be like, no one likes my books anymore, so you have to do something so I can write about it, please.
Right. So I'm going to use you again to get to re-famous myself.
Yeah. Rowena Drake was in it, although again, she was more like a PTA parent than an opera singer.
Yes, I liked her being an opera singer.
Yeah.
That was neat.
She didn't have any kids that I remember, but I could have just missed it. I don't know. Olga was in it as a completely different person, so that was more like a name. Olga was the one who was killed originally that the kids saw, instead of like the former nun who was taking care of Alicia, who wasn't in the book at all. Leopold was still in it, and he was still creepy. Though maybe a little more creepy in this one, because he's like, I don't know, young Vincent Price or whatever.
Because he's a kid. Yeah, because he's a kid who's being an adult.
Yeah, yeah. Mrs. Reynolds, like, I tried to go back through. I don't think anyone was named that in the book, but there was a person, like a local lady, who came to the party, dressed up as a witch and told people's fortunes. Like, she, had that kind of like soothsayer medium set up. So that was more like an adaptation than a direct nod. And then again, there was still a garden, although the garden in the book was like huge and sunken. And the whole point was the guy was going to buy a Greek island with the inheritance and make his own version of the Garden of Eden with Rowena when they got away with it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's a plan.
It was really weird.
It is certainly a plan.
Something you could do. I wouldn't advise it, but you can do it. Yeah. And again, the book plot was basically thrown away at the end when he's like, here's what's actually happening with your friend. So anyway, so surely there's like 100 more Poirot books. Do you think Kenneth Branagh's going to keep going? Like, is he going to make one, I don't know, in Hawaii or something? Like Poirot Goes to Hawaii?
I hope he keeps making them.
Co-starring Jennifer Aniston, or like, is he going to follow the Sandler approach?
Well, it's Kenneth Branagh. I think he'll make these till he can't.
Yeah.
Like, he's made all the Shakespeare's practically.
Right.
So, like, I think he'll keep making them once every few years until he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Which would be good for us, because it's a great character.
Yeah.
And it can introduce a lot of people to Poirot who aren't going to read the books, aren't going to read the obscure ones, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Is he going to run out of famous friends to be in it?
I don't think so.
They're burning through actors like at a steady clip here. Like,
no, he's the one of those guys that knows like everybody. So they'll get people. Eventually, Channing Tatum will be in one. So.
Oh, did you know that he's a sir?
I didn't know he was a sir. Sir Kenneth Branagh.
Yes, he is.
Do you think Poirot will ever fight a giant mechanical spider?
I thought you were talking about Channing Tatum.
No.
Wait, what?
No.
Channing cannot be a sir.
It's not
he
too
can
late.
get a knighthood, but he won't be able to use the title.
He could
Because
still
you can't
do it.
use it with honorary ones, but you can put the stuff behind your name. So
Just has to do a service to the crown, and he'll get it.
well, he'd probably get an Order of the British Empire first, and you can get that by just being famous
Oh, I want one of those.
and making like good movies and shit. So yeah, but to get some of the higher grades, you have to be a little more directly connected to, like, make a lot of movies in the UK, or do something a little more special, or do something that benefits.
I don't know.
Probably. I think if he did something that benefited like UK children a lot, they would give him one.
Is he the one that was Gilderoy Lockhart? And like
yes.
And he did the Harry Potter too. The second, didn't he directed also?
Again, thought you were
Gosh, he looks
talking
so
about
different
Channing
now.
Tatum.
Channing Tatum should be in Harry Potter. Agreed.
Well, since they're going to remake it in a TV
it's going to
show,
be like a
there's
dance-off one or something. Have him be dancing. Sorry, I'm reading about Kenneth Branagh right now. I thought that was him, but he doesn't look like him anymore, obviously. He's much older.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not much older, but he's older.
He's
well, it's
62.
been 20 years since he played Gilderoy Lockhart, so...
That's not that long.
It's old enough for like a 40-year-old to then become a 60-year-old and look older. Type of deal.
Oh, The Haunting in Venice and The Nun, too, tied on the box office this weekend.
That would be a weird double feature.
Yeah, sure would. I don't want to see that Nun.
No.
I want to.
It looks creepy.
God, it looks terrifying. Don't even show me the preview. I hate it.
Would he ever branch out and do some Miss Marple instead?
Maybe.
Like, let Tina Fey do a spin-off and she could do the Miss Marple as Ariana, whatever her name was.
That'd be great.
Could be.
She could take on Miss Marple instead. Yeah, I like Tina Fey a lot in this.
Yeah.
I did too.
I was glad they just made her American, because I don't know if she could have pulled off a British accent the whole time, but she had that cool, like, mid-Atlantic accent going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And she looked very fashionable, which I appreciated. Anyway, so would you recommend this?
Oh, yeah. But I like these movies.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed them all.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder if I could enjoy the books, but it's just reading is hard to do these days.
Yeah.
So.
Try the audiobooks. I liked the audiobooks a lot.
Okay.
That's how I did Murder on the Orient Express.
Mm-hmm.
Kindle or Audible has some good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a few credits, so maybe I'll get one. I think I got Death on the Nile, actually.
Yeah.
I just haven't listened to it yet, so I'll try that out and see what I think.
Although it is easy to get lost in, like, who the hell was that person? I don't remember. Whatever. Like,
That's the
not taking notes about who was who, but...
Yeah.
Danielle, would you recommend this?
Yeah, it was good.
Better
I
than
like
Murder on the Orient?
I didn't like Murder on the Orient Express like at all, so yeah, this one was better.
Better than Death on the Nile?
No, I think Death on the Nile was better.
Death on the Nile is certainly more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly more fun. Cool. Alright, well, Danielle's got a heart out, so I'm going to ask you first.
Okay.
Do you have anything else that's good?
I'm negative for COVID now, so that's good.
Yay!
All right.
Jealous.
That was real awful. Yeah, Travis had it before me, allegedly. He tested positive for it.
I had the first positive test, yeah.
And he still was testing positive yesterday, but mine's negative.
I'm just lucky, I guess.
But I had, like, worse symptoms, because, like, totally messed up all my smell and my taste for a while.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was not fun, but it's better now. And, but,
Well,
you know,
good.
we still have I guess 3, because Travis is still technically positive. 3 in the house with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of plagues, if I had a basement, y'all,
I'd already be dead.
I'd be locking you in there.
She
But
would
alas-
feed you,
But alas, we have no basement.
leave you
so.
plates of food outside the door.
She did confine me to the upstairs for a while, although it didn't help,
Yeah.
Right.
apparently.
Are you asymptomatic, Travis? Is that why it's sticking around?
I mean, I had been for a while, but then I had, like, a rebound case.
He's just got kind of
At
like
least
a stuffy
yesterday,
nose.
like, I had a very runny nose, and, like, I don't know, when I finally went to bed, I felt a little feverish, but...
Well, I feel like I heard if
feel
you
good
take
now.
the pill for it, that can happen.
I heard
yeah.
that it can just happen anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Because we don't know
Because
who had
the
it
pill
first.
suppresses your symptoms and shit
Right.
while it's trying to treat you. Like,
Right.
after you take your course, you could have a day or so where they come. Like, that happens a bit.
Right. Right. Once it's
Yeah.
kind of worked its way out of the system, but you're not quite over it.
Yeah.
But, like, the kids both have it, and Levi had no symptoms, really, so maybe he had it first. Who knows? Or reinfecting each other. I don't know.
Could be.
Just don't give it back to me. I'm negative. I'm good.
I'm trying
going
my
out.
best.
I'm going out today.
Just gonna go spread to
I'm gonna blow
everybody.
this joint.
Yeah.
Anything else aside from, like, sleeping for a week straight?
It's not 110 degrees anymore, so
That is
There you
that's
go.
really exciting.
It felt
here.
chilly because it was only 80 degrees.
I know, right? It's like we don't know how to handle this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all, though.
All right. Chris, do you have anything else that's good?
Just busy. Got Yom Kippur starts
Yeah.
next weekend, like
Yeah.
Sunday night, which reminds me I have to tell them I won't be there that Monday.
Yeah. Whoops.
Well, I should have told them like before school started, but I
Yeah.
was trying to see what all our Disney travel dates are, and I finally got that from
Oh, yeah?
Brittany, so now I can tell
When
them
are you
that,
going
yeah,
to Disney?
November
Ooh.
November 6th.
Nice.
We're going to catch the end of Food and Wine,
Yeah.
and then we have tickets for Mickey's, like the first or second night of Mickey's Christmas thing or something.
Nice.
Sweet.
So we planned it to overlap with those two.
I want to go to the Food and Wine thing one day.
It's going to be great,
I hear it's
honestly.
really good.
Like, we've been watching videos about it because it's going now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It starts in, like, end of July, and goes till November.
Right.
So, we watched some videos from some people who went, and I'm like, that's going to be pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
But it won't be 1,000,000 degrees, or it should be, like, in the 70s and 80s when we're there.
Nice.
And we're going to so we're basically going to, like, do shit we've been seeing for years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're going to hit up, we're not going to do Animal Kingdom, we're going to do Magic Kingdom one day.
Yeah.
We're going to do Food and Wine with Epcot.
Yep.
We're going to do Star Wars shit at Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
Then we're going to take a day in there. We're going to go to Universal, so I can finally do the Harry Potter stuff.
Nice.
And then we have a couple days in there where we plan not to really do much of anything because we're all like...
That's a good idea.
We're late 30s, and we'll probably need
put some rest
days. Yeah. So...
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it should be.
We would tend to be there for like the marathon weekend, which is in January. Mm-hmm. So we get the other side of the Christmas stuff. All the decorations were still up, but the crowds were down. So that'll probably be cool.
Yeah.
To see all the lights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be good.
Cool.
I'm trying to look forward to it, but I'm also trying not to because it's still like 2 months away.
So it'll be here before you.
I still got some time. Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
The way time goes.
Good.
That's good.
Good. Other Chris, what else is good?
So we watched a few episodes of Poker Face.
Ooh, how is that?
It's really good.
I've heard good things.
Speaking of like murder mysteries, I guess like the way it's formatted, it isn't as much of a mystery because they kind of tell you within like the first 5 or 10 minutes, basically, like what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the fun of it is really mostly just Natasha Lyonne being Natasha Lyonne.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like her going through and figuring it out and dealing with all of the characters and everything.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, If you like Natasha Lyonne, like,
and
you
I
will
do
like this show.
Yeah,
nice.
That's how it goes. And like it's and the murders and everything, like they're well crafted stories.
Yeah,
and like the amount of tension, I guess, is like very very carefully calibrated through the whole thing.
Yeah,
so it's a fun time.
Yeah, and her whole thing is like she can always tell when people are lying.
Right.
Like they all have a bad poker face to her.
Yeah, basically.
Nice.
Like, what was it? Yeah, sort of the way it starts off. Like they give kind of her backstory, and I guess she was like using this ability as a poker player to like just fleece people for a good long time.
Yeah.
Before the mob caught on, essentially, and like forced her to stop doing it.
Yeah. They're like, no, you're fucking up our thing.
Yeah,
that sounds cool. It's like
now she travels the country and solves murders.
Yeah, it's like one season so far.
Yeah.
Okay. On like Hulu or Peacock or
I think it's on Peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah, the one that nobody has.
I have it
on Peacock.
Oh, well, then you could watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
And
I'm used to her being on Netflix for cool, edgy shows.
Yeah,
but I have it. I got it for Brave New World when they first came on, and never got rid of it.
Oh,
so
we could
they have shows every now and then that are interesting.
Yeah. Also watch 50 or 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And The Office on Peacock.
Yeah,
yeah. I think it's part of the reason we kept it.
Yeah.
Too is because Brittany really likes The Office.
Yeah. And
she used to watch it a lot on Netflix, and then it left, so...
Yeah.
You have to watch it on Peacock, unless you have a VPN, and you can still get it on Netflix in, like, England or something.
Does she watch season 9 or no?
I don't know.
Oh. I just turn it off. I hate that season so much.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Brittany likes to rewatch shows that she likes a lot, so I just kind of ignore whatever she has on.
Yeah.
Unless it's something we're all watching together, because that's how it goes sometimes. You're not always into each other's favorite background noise shows. So.
Right. Yep.
But this year we'll have to watch Friends again, because she didn't make us do it last year.
A whole year without Friends?
She's a very big Friends fan. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much only watch that when I'm like, I'm going to also play a video game on the Switch or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I need the extra light or whatever.
Yeah.
In the room. But...
Man, I don't know how people can do that.
What?
Just like have a background noise show?
I'm not a person that has like background noise, I guess.
Yeah. Gotta be ones I've found that you know very well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where you get caught in attention again. Like for me, it's usually Star Trek of some sort.
Right.
Yeah.
I usually end up watching it eventually, but then I also, it's like, if I want to look at other stuff or need to attend to something, I don't feel bad about leaving it because I know what's happening.
Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, nope, I have to pay attention.
I just don't though. Like, I don't understand the need for it, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
I've learned a lot of people are uncomfortable in silence.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what Danielle would say if she was
awesome.
still here. Because her thing is not a show, it's Food Network.
Yeah.
So it's whatever is going on, like the sound of people
we have
cooking.
Some of that
and,
too, like Pluto is good for that. Like, you'll put on like Price is Right or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She really is not going to be in there, but she won't need some sound. I'm like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I switch it? You've had Price is Right on for a while. Like, I don't want to watch this. So, but like, I got comfortable with silence in social work because they teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're with people who just don't want to interact with you at the moment.
Right.
So like, that's fine. We can just sit here. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't have to do anything.
Yep.
And it's just quiet, and you're like, all right. But other people are like, oh, then I start thinking about stuff too much. I'm like, well,
right.
You're going to have to deal with it eventually sometimes. So might as well do it now.
For me,
and then you can enjoy the silence later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For me, it is like a stress response. When I'm like really stressed out, I'm like, I'm going to have all the stimulants I can possibly have. So listen to a podcast and play a video game in the room while someone has the TV. It's like I can't possibly think about the thing that's stressing me out. But
okay, I got you. I tend to focus on stuff too much if it's stressing me out, so I get it.
Right.
I just think about it.
Yeah, well,
I will go through a catastrophe cycle.
You and your like emotional maturity, like, come on.
Like, I'll go through a catastrophe cycle where it like really overwhelms me.
Right.
Then I have to go like, oh, well, everything's just going to go to shit. And then that eventually goes away, and I'm like, okay, well, that's not really going to happen that way, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is that as long as you know that that's what's happening, it shouldn't affect you as much.
Right.
You're like, I am just dealing with this.
Yeah.
The way that I deal with it.
It's like, I know what's happening as much as I don't want to experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that I just have to let it run through, as uncomfortable as that will be.
Like my thing is like, I'll I don't know, like on Wednesdays when I go to the office, or like, if I go to a party or something, if I'm like surrounded by people, like I'm kind of in my element there. Like, I, weirdly enough, am kind of an extrovert, I guess. But then, and the same thing happened, like, when I was, in Iowa last week, you know? Like, surrounded by family, surrounded by people, like constant sort of activity, I guess. And then all of that goes away, and I just feel fucking awful. Like, I am more alone now than I ever have been in my entire life or something, like every single time.
Right.
So it's like I just have to, you know, deal with that for a day or two afterwards.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's probably not much else you can do except just like deal with it.
Yeah. Just
everyone come back over. Come on.
Exactly. Like, no, please. Like, I need to be surrounded by people at all times.
Right.
Like, no, I can't really do that.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing for me also, is a lot of time the thing that's stressing me out is like something I'm going to have to do at work. And the only thing that's going to stop it stressing me out is to do it.
Doing the thing.
And it's like, I can't do it right now. Like, so I'll shut every other emotion off right now. Thank you. I'll overload the system until I can deal with it, but... Not saying it's healthy, it's just my coping mechanism, but anyway. I had a couple of things I was going to bring up for what else is good. So, one is this game called Sea of Stars.
Okay.
Which came out not so long ago. I think it's for pretty much every system. It is a kind of an homage to the 16-bit RPGs. It's like a pixel art, kind of like Chrono Trigger or Secret of Evermore style battle system where like you wander around and see the enemies that you're going to have to fight. Yeah. And then your positioning can have something to do with it when you're actually using attacks and stuff. It's really, really cool. It's very pretty. And it kind of wears on its sleeve that it's an homage to all these types of games. Like, they even lifted the guy in the mountains. One of the stages you're running through in the mountains, you talk to a guy who's like, Mountains are nice. This is the life. And if you keep talking to him, he gives you whatever, not a speed tab, but whatever. So, like, direct references to other games I appreciated.
Nice.
But it's pretty and it's interesting, and it kind of takes away the need for, like, Phoenix Downs and that kind of stuff, because when you're in battle, if your people get knocked down, they have a counter and they'll just get back up if you can stay alive that long. And there's, like, a dynamic where you can see what the enemies are going to do as far as an attack, and if you perform certain actions, you can disrupt them and keep them from doing it. So it's kind of like planning your moves and your energy expense so that you can keep them from, like, murdering you. So
cool.
It's really cool. And it's on Game Pass, so if you've got, like, PlayStation Plus or Game Pass, I think you can get it for free. So worth checking out.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I will
That's
check
how we
that
got
out.
Starfield, because Matt has Game Pass.
Ooh, creepy
I'm
looks.
not playing it. So
Creepy looks in space.
he started it. I don't have time to play games anymore. I mean, I do, but I just get home and I don't have the energy.
Yeah. Well, this one's good for that, because you can go through and play an area and then, like, okay, I'm done.
Well, that's cool.
Or just jump in and play
That's
the mini game that they've got, like a tower defense mini game called Reels or whatever. But the other one, hold on, I'm gonna go grab it.
All right, grab. Wah.
The other one is I got a new, to me at least, Tilly Walden comic called Spinning.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
So I've brought her up a couple of times on the podcast already. She did On a Sunbeam and Are You Listening? I gather this was like the original. This is like a memoir of her time when she was doing, like, competitive ice skating.
Okay.
And when she had to move from, I should remember, Massachusetts, I think, down to Austin. And, like, the culture changed between the ice skating scenes there. But it's really good. All of her stuff is good, but it's, like, not like the kind of memoir where it's like, and then this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and that's the whole point. It's kind of like an emotional memoir where she's just kind of capturing, here's the frustrations I had with, like, my team, or dealing with going to competitions and my parents not really getting it, or, like, having my first girlfriend in Austin, Texas, where people were still kind of, like, not cool with that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I can highly recommend it. It's really good.
Cool.
And I also, you could see some of the DNA of some of her other stuff in there. Like, On a Sunbeam is kind of like, feels to me like the idea of her going to this new, like, private school. Where in that book, it's like a new private school that's in space that floats around and does stuff. But, you know, there's some of that aspect there. Or her book about the road trip they take in Are You Listening, kind of dealing with, you know, abuse that she suffered, and processing why her parents might not have known about it, that kind of thing. And of course, my favorite topic is covered, which is, like, shitty sports parents who are way too into it. And, like, getting on her case about not paying for the time on the ice, even though it was already paid for by the team and that kind of stuff. But, is interesting because I can't think of too many other sports stories like that where they're kind of like, you have to keep doing this? What the fuck are you, jeez. And when she finally decides to quit, her parents are like, great. Fantastic.
Wow.
Saving money.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
Cool.
Really, really good. Anyway.
I got this one I haven't read yet. But...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Say it, because we can't read that on the podcast.
Oh, we can't?
No, I mean...
Well, it's the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse.
What is that even about? I've seen it, but...
Life advice?
Yeah.
Really? But it's like some guy, I think, started it during the pandemic. And then he put it into a book. So it has, like, these picture, like...
Yeah.
It's like that. And it gives life advice. Yeah. Like, it's set up as a story of, like, this boy and these animals walking around talking about stuff. But But it builds up to things.
Oh.
Like this one, it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Kind, said the boy. And then he's sitting with I guess it's the mole, on a branch and it's raining. He's got an umbrella over him.
Uh-huh.
And then they're talking about, so it's like, what do you think success is? Asked the boy. To love, said the mole. And there's like a cake. It's like, do you have a favorite saying? Asked the boy. Yes, said the mole. Well, what is it? If at first you don't succeed, have some cake. I see. Does it work? Every time.
Nice.
So stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just a tiny taste, and there's like the mole eating a bunch of cake.
Kind
so
of
it builds up
Winnie
from
the
there.
Pooh.
A little bit. The people who reviewed it said it kind of has that vibe of Winnie the Pooh, especially the Tao of Pooh, stuff like that. So I got one of the more famous, the more known parts. I was just paging through, and it's like, well, sometimes I don't want to be here, or things like that. So, and they talk about things like that, and then like, here's one further on. When have you been at your strongest? Asked the boy. When I've dared to show my weakness, said the horse. Asking for help isn't giving up. It's refusing to give up. So stuff like that.
Oh, I gotcha.
So.
And the boy wasn't like, holy shit, a talking horse.
No, he's not surprised by any of this.
Okay.
It's like sometimes, here's one, it's like, sometimes I worry you'll all realize I'm ordinary, said the boy. Love doesn't need you to be extraordinary, said the mole.
Yeah.
We all need a reason to keep going, said the horse. Well, what's yours? You three, said the fox. Getting home, said the boy. Cake, said the mole. So I've discovered something better than cake. No, you haven't, said the boy. I have, replied the mole. Well, what is it? A hug. It lasts longer.
Depends on how big the cake is, I guess.
Yeah.
This good little, like, draw.
It's one of those Costco cakes. It can last for a
oh my
long
god,
time.
yeah, Costco cake. Sorry, kids. Hugs are great, but Costco cakes are better. That is the only, like, kind of white cake I like, is a Costco one, because it's, like, it's a really good, moist, even though people don't like that word, like, cake with that good buttercream layers in there and shit. Like, it's amazing.
Well, that seems like a great place to end.
Agreed.
The secret to happiness, Costco cakes.
Costco cakes.
We've solved
the end.
The end. It's a little thing you can do for yourselves.
I'm hitting stop.
Okay, that was our session for today. Homework for this time is, if you're so inclined, get in the comments and let me know if we missed any other references to the Poirot books. Like, it feels like this was maybe a hybrid of a few books. Surely someone out there already knows, so if that's you, let us know. Regarding On Second Thoughts today, personal apologies to Agatha Christie on my behalf. One should not speculate on someone else's medical or mental conditions just based on some internet comments. And look how many best-selling books I've ever written. 0. Were she still with us, even if she were deep in the grips of dementia, even her most boring mystery ever would still have a better twist than I could ever dream of. So yeah, all respect where respect is due. Stay hard, Agatha. Today's episode was loosely based on Agatha Christie's book Cat Among the Pigeons. I mean, it could be. You've never read it. And it was adapted by Chris Ham, Other Chris Jacobson, Danielle Neither Chris Rowe. It was edited by me, Travis Rowe, and was sponsored by no one in particular. Until next time, keep fucking reading.
It's me.
It is you.
You think
Let me,
curses aren't real?
They're not.
What?
I don't think they're real either.
What?
I also don't believe in ghosts. Fuck that.
But didn't you see how all those doctors just died?
Mm-mm.
But we know how that happened.
No, it was the ghosts.
No, it was not.
Oh.
It was sad people who've been highly traumatized and one who was freaking the fuck out because she didn't know how to live without her daughter.
The end.
So,
End of
the
film.
end.
All right, that's the longest
That's
one.
it.
Solved it.
All right, we did it real fast.
Record time. All right,
Yeah.
stop.